Welcome to Saturday Night Roundtable, guys. You know who we got on this panel. My Cowboys family. Fifth quarter Cowboys. Hosting the show, your very own Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. I am the host of the show, Dallas Cowboys Football News, baby. Thank you for your piece of Saturdays, guys. We got a show for you today. We know the draft is here in a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever the case might be, but we're going to hold off on that subject, and we're going to deep dive into maybe to some hypotheticals, some possibilities, and we're talking about America's team here. There's ever nothing to talk about with these Cowboys. There's always something to talk about. But let's open it up with Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Talk to your people, fam. And how was your week?
Well, man, once again, thank y'all for letting me host the show. Glad to be a part of this, man. It's been a rough week. Y'all know what happened with my lawnmower situation. I'm still working on that, but man, can football season come? I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of the offseason. Offseason football is just a pain in the butt, man. We need something going on, man. I'm just glad to be happy. Just talking about some kind of football tonight. Ready to get the season started, man. Tired of talking about D-Law. I'm glad that's over with. We're not going to talk about D-Law tonight, guys, okay? We promise we're not going to talk about it. Hopefully nobody talks about D-Law tonight. But anyway, guys, let's get this party started right, man. Football News, thanks for being a host, man. Being a radio voice that we need. I was on live with Mark Holmes and them last night, and Foots and Bosch and Brilliant Minds, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed chopping it up with those guys. But nothing's better than this family right here. Football News, fifth quarter Cowboys, my Cowboys family. Diehard fans, guys. Keep their ears to the ground. Got all the information you need. Don't need ESPN. Don't need Fox Sport. It's right here, guys. Let's go, man. Let's get this party started.
Fifth quarter Cowboys, welcome back to the Roundtable. You did miss last week. I hope your Pokemon are okay. I heard they died in a war on the app. Talk to the people, man.
Man, what you talking about, man? Yeah, man, I was on vacay last week, man. Came back and started kicking your ass in Madden 2 nights in a row. But yeah, man, happy to be back. No, we won't be talking about DeMarcus Lawrence tonight. We are so over that. Definitely not. But we got a lot more stuff to talk about. Glad everybody here participating tonight on this Saturday night. You could be doing anything. You could be at a movie theater. You could be at your mama house, your grandmama house. You could be at the girlfriend house, deep in her sugar walls. But you chose to be here. So sorry if any kids are watching. Appreciate everybody, man. We're going to have a good show, y'all.
And last but certainly not least, my Cowboys. Going live every day, showing the love of the blue and silver, say it true to what it do. My Cowboys family.
Woo! What is up, guys? Thank you so much for joining us here. And as always, guys, make sure to go sub it up to everybody here on this roundtable, guys. These guys are putting in the work, putting out that great Cowboy content, guys. Again, as always, very thankful to be here with you guys. I don't know, DJ. I want to talk about Tank. I got feelings. Just kidding. We definitely always have something to talk about here in the Cowboys. I feel like we wake up every day and there's something new going on. But that's kind of also a reason why we love them, right? I mean, we love our Cowboys for all of it. And honestly, I'm just really excited with the general direction that we're heading in, especially with the draft coming up. The draft is always an exciting time, kind of a new start for the team. So, I don't know, good vibes all around in Dallas, other than the ugly weather. So
yeah, guys, and draft, the draft is coming. That's where we're going to finalize the pieces to this team. And again, I think the majority of the free agency has kind of been taken care of, so, for the most part. But and we'll pick up other smaller pieces, but the main piece, pieces have been picked up, and excluding the draft. And I know we're not going to talk about it too much, but I might touch on that a little bit too here and there. So, anyways, DCFN, how do you feel about this whole situation so far?
Oh, I'm feeling great, guys. It was a great work week. It was a great week personally. Nothing too exciting coming out of the Dallas Cowboy news. But with this show, we're going to kick it off. We're going to put on our general manager hat. Let's play Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay. Let's play general manager for a second here, guys. And there was two guys Stephen Jones brought up after the Tank Lawrence extension, and that was Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. That they're going to work on extending next. Fifth quarter Cowboys, I'll go ahead and start with you. Which one's more important to extend first, Dak Prescott or the addition and elite Amari Cooper?
Well, in my opinion, you got to extend Dak Prescott first. Um, when you look at who's been a Cowboy longer, when you look at who's put in more work with the star, and who's dealt with so many egos on field, with players, and having to put up with coaches that you don't like, but you smile and you do your job anyway. I feel like Amari Cooper is just a temporary, not a temporary piece, but a piece that Jerry Jones brought in because they feel so bad with the Dez Bryant situation, and they said that they were happy with the guys that they had, and these guys was going to be good, and all this and that, and after the Redskin game, they panicked and they brought in Amari Cooper. Well, Dak was already there dealing with all the same crap. Dak been through thick and thin with this team, brought us back from bad and all the crap I've gave him, man. But you got to give the guy credit when it's due. Um, Amari Cooper is a big part of this team now, but Dak Prescott is an even bigger piece, and the quarterback is the captain of the ship, man. You know, uh, and they're hard to find. You know, you can get good route runners. You can get good speedster guys that can catch the ball, but without that quarterback, man, it just won't work. We see that going on now in the NFL. You got teams with elite wide receiver, but the QBs just aren't there. I feel like if Julio Jones had a better quarterback, they probably have a Super Bowl by now. And it's a couple more teams like that. So, in my opinion, just with what Dak Prescott has already been through with this team, the suffering he's had to deal with this team due to poor coaching and poor management from up top, and fighting through all that and still giving 100%. I think Dak Prescott has earned it over Amari Cooper, being the fact that he hasn't been here that long. It's kind of a seniority thing in my opinion, if you ask me. It's kind of a seniority thing. So I would definitely extend Dak Prescott over before Amari Cooper, in my opinion.
My Cowboys family, GM hat. Who gets extended first in your eyes, Dak Prescott or Amari Cooper?
Maybe you go first.
I mean, I'm with DJ 100% on this, but I do disagree on the overall thing because I don't disagree with the fact that Dak absolutely deserves to get extended first, should get extended first, and deserves to get extended first. But realistically speaking, Dak's contract is going to be a lot more complicated, a lot more nuanced. It's going to have a lot more things that Amari Cooper's contract just isn't going to have or require. Cooper's coming in here kind of already set with his numbers, so it's a lot easier for us to just say, hey, we're going to extend you. Hey, we're going to do this. Hey, we're going to do that. Dak's getting his first major contract, just like Tank's, contract. This was his first big contract like this, and it obviously wasn't necessarily a smooth ride, even though he wanted to stay a Cowboy, and the Joneses wanted him. Dak clearly seems to want to stay a Cowboy. Joneses clearly seem to want him, but I just don't see it happening very quickly. And I think Amari Cooper is going to be the simpler contract to do now. And again, Amari's another guy that obviously seems to want to rep the star for a long time. And I think that it's a lot. I think that we will find a happier place to meet with Cooper, like Fiance said, maybe 17. Hopefully, I mean, I would hate to say 18, but honestly, with the numbers going the way they are, I don't think 18 million is unrealistic for Coop. I mean, what do you think, baby?
I mean, then you look at Adam Thielen's new contract. When you look at what's coming around the corner for Julio Jones, Cooper's price range is rising. So both these guys, you got to get them. And I think, Cooper there's an ad, aside from everything that Fiance just said and the complexity of the quarterback, contract, especially one that's going to be this long, this big for Dak. And again, we're hearing 30 million range. In a year and a half, it's not going to be that. He's going to be middle of the pack when it comes to quarterbacks. So in my opinion, yes, Dak is the guy. Every reason DJ said, I'm with. Seniority. He's proven more. He's a more important position, so to speak. But at the same time, the Cooper deal is easier to do. Now, I still think that we need to get Dak done first, mainly because it will save us $7 to $10 million, next year or middle of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go up that much. I fear. And maybe I'm exaggerating it, but it's still going to go up more than Cooper's contract should be going up. Even with Cooper's, rising expectations of contracts, when you look at Julio Jones, he's looking at close to 20 million, probably around 20. So a lot of concerns, a lot of things that, you got to get done. I just believe we got to try to get both these guys signed. And this year, the thing with Dak, the last thing I'm going to touch on is that Dak's contract, of course, being about $2 million on the cap this year. It's a steal, right? So there's ways that you can still sign him this year, and then still give him like $5 million with on the cap. Let's say a cap hit this year, and then put kind of do the same thing we did with Tank. Push the rest of the money down, the signing bonus money down further on the line with a less cap hit down the line. Even though it's still a cap hit down the line, it's not as bad as it would be the way we used to set up these contracts and really backload them. And you have I just think that's going to be beneficial to keeping Dak at a cheaper rate. Got to get the details of the contract worked out, and then the Cooper situation. That's gonna come. The Cowboys didn't spend a first round pick this year, to let this guy go. So it's just a matter of when, not if, in my opinion. But yeah, both these guys are important. Dak is more important, but Dak's got the tougher contract. So yeah, either or to make your choice. They both can get signed.
Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, general manager hat. In your eyes, who gets extended first, Dak Prescott or the elite Amari Cooper?
I really don't have to say too much on this one. These guys both I agree with both of them 1,000%. I think Dak's already paid his dues. Dak's been here. Even though a lot of people get on Dak about his mechanics and footwork and accuracy and stuff like that, we all know that Dak Prescott's an ugly winner. Dak has developed with time in different areas. He's a natural born leader. He just has that leadership role already instilled in him. He was raised that way. Dak's a durable quarterback. He can do it all. He can run. He can throw. He can win. He's shown us that he can win in fourth down. Fourth quarter. I don't want to get into his pocketbook or anything like that, but he's probably projected to make around $25 to $30 million a year. There's no question about it. Now, Amari Cooper is arguably one of the best route runners, probably one of the best receivers in the game right now. And I think him and Dak click really fast. But somebody had to throw him those touchdown passes. They didn't just put the ball in the machine and say, bloop, 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 bloop. Somebody had to throw those touchdown passes. So Dak is the man. Now we're getting hopefully having a healthier offensive line with Travis Frederick's coming back. We're going to see. That's what me and Boss was agreeing on last night on Mark Spring Live, talking about the offensive line. And probably, Cowboys may be looking into drafting an offensive lineman, maybe a guard. Who knows? But there's no question that Dak you have to keep your quarterback healthy. We don't want to tag him or anything like that. Quarterback position is a lot different from every other position. You're the leader of the team. It's hard to do that. Anybody can go back there and throw a pass, but in order to make good, intelligent, smart decisions and be a leader on the field and off the field, I don't think Dak will do the same thing that I said I wouldn't say his name, but D-Law did. Here in the DFW area, Dak's endorsements are high. He's on a lot of commercials, a lot of local commercials. I don't know if you guys can see that, but Dak isn't hurting, guys. His contract may not be as high, but he isn't hurting. Trust me. Dak and Zeke were here first, and all three should get taken. Like my Cowboys family say, Amari Cooper, his money will come, his raise will come, and he's well deserved of it. He came in here and made an impact really quick in just half a season. You see the impact he brought, and it what turned our season around. If we wouldn't have got him, we probably wouldn't even made the playoffs this season. But Dak, I do agree with fifth quarter and my Cowboys family. Everything that they said, 1,000%. Dak should get paid. I think he should get his money first, take care of him first. Because the rest will all unfold on its own. But that's all I got on that, man. Y'all go ahead and take off. That's my 2 cents. Use it wisely.
All right. I got to disagree with everybody on this panel. I'm disagreeing with every single one of my brothers on this panel.
Break it down for us.
Okay. If I'm the general manager and I'm looking at Dak Prescott, who went 3-3 without Ezekiel Elliott and went 3-5 without Amari Cooper. And yes, it is a team effort. It is a team group, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Big players make big plays in big moments. And it's kind of funny how those big plays happened when Amari Cooper stepped on the Dallas Cowboy organization's field, put a star on his helmet, got out of the black hole, went into Dallas, and laid the smackdown on everybody's candy asses that went up against him. And I said this last year, me in 1980, we have the most competitive debates along with fifth quarter Cowboys. And I said, Amari Cooper made Dak Prescott this year. And I am sticking by what I said. Amari Cooper made Dak Prescott 3-5 without Cooper himself. And that's with Ezekiel Elliott, the NFL leading rusher. We can blame it on the wide receivers not getting open. We can blame it on whatever we want. But if I'm the general manager and I'm sitting back here and I'm saying, man, we gave a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. We were 3-5. We lost one game. One game since we drafted Amari Cooper. That's a big difference maker right there. That's who we need to get paid first. Who's under the microscope is the quarterback, Dak Prescott. Why is he under 3-5 without Amari Cooper, with Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, 3-3 without Ezekiel Elliott in 2017? Inconsistent passes. He's gone. He's gone. So that's why you're jumping my guns here, MCF. That's why I like to talk first. Okay. May I continue? Thank you. So I'm looking back now. Here's my next topic. Now, fans are going to say Linehan, whatever. Okay, we don't have Linehan anymore. We got Kellen Moore, who Dak Prescott wanted as a quarterback's coach. We can say he took a step back, he digressed, he stayed the same, nothing improved. Whatever the case might be with Scott Linehan, that's the offensive coordinator now. How many fingers can we point until we say, you know what, Dak might not be our guy. I don't know if I want to give out $25 to $30 million for a guy that might not be our guy. Let's just be real. One playoff win, 3 years in the National Football League. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know. It is what it is at that point. But I'm going to let Dak finish out his rookie contract, and then I might franchise tag him. And then I might franchise tag him again. I might pull a Kirk Cousins type of move on Dak Prescott if I'm general manager until Dak Prescott, who doesn't have a Scott Linehan anymore, who has everybody in his corner to succeed. We can't start the season 3-5. If you're missing key components on your offense, you can't go 3-3. Dak, if you want to make the most money offensive player makes, you got to go out there and earn it. That's why Amari Cooper only lost one game as a Dallas Cowboy. Gets his money first. Fifth quarter Cowboys.
I just want to. I got a couple questions for you. Okay. So Amari Cooper made Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why didn't Amari Cooper make Derek Carr? up there in Oakland?
Pretty sure Amari Cooper had Pro Bowl seasons over there.
Why didn't Amari Cooper have a success up there that he had in Dallas?
He didn't like his head coach. Did you not read the press?
That ain't got nothing to do with him getting the ball. That ain't got nothing to do with him getting the ball.
But dude, hurry up. Your rebuttal's taking like 20 minutes. We got an hour show.
I'm just asking a question. I'm asking you, why did every time the ball was in the air in Dallas, it was headed to Amari Cooper here, Amari Cooper there? How did Amari Cooper come to us that late in the season and still acquire over 1,000 yards?
You're crazy if you think he got over 1,000 yards.
Close to it.
Not even close to it. He got 700 yards. Come on, keep coming.
1,000?
No, sir. Close to 1,900.
Okay. How the hell do you got a guy who you says made Dak Prescott? Now, Dak Prescott.
He did.
Okay, let me ask you this. Did he make him as far as stats?
He made Dak Prescott better, period.
Stats or just the eye test?
Both.
So if I pull up his rookie stats.
Oh, okay, let's talk about stats. How many fumbles did Dak Prescott have?
No. We talking about
$30 million quarterback can't have that. You want to talk about stats?
We talking about receiver quarterback right now. We talking about receiver quarterback connection. What I'm asking you is, how the hell can a guy make a guy who made the Pro Bowl his rookie year? And it's going from a guy who's so critical of Dak Prescott.
I am. Okay, let's go back to his rookie year. Let's go back to his rookie year. How many yards does Zeke have? How many touchdowns does Zeke have?
No.
Was Des Bryant involved?
No, what does Zeke have to do with Dak making the Pro Bowl?
Well, you brought up Pro Bowl and Dak.
I said,
let's talk about other players.
No, what does Zeke have to do with that?
Zeke was the reason why 2016 was 2016. If y'all don't think that, y'all are crazy.
If Dak would have been trash in 2016 and Zeke still had his number, Zeke would have still made the Pro Bowl.
Dak only threw 22 touchdowns. What made him to the Pro Bowl was only 4 interceptions.
How many?
22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's why Dak Prescott, because the four interceptions. Zeke is the reason why the Cowboys went to the playoffs.
I said Dak making the Pro Bowl, not the playoffs. How many touchdowns did he have this year?
He had 22 again. 23.
So without Amari Cooper, it's
8 games. 22. With 8 games without Amari.
So without Amari, he's had 22.
Oh, and then the 3 games with Jarwin in week 17. So that's even worse.
Without Amari, he had 22?
No, without Amari, I don't know how many touchdowns he had, but I can tell you it wasn't good.
His rookie year, how many touchdowns did Dak have? Was it in the 20s?
22.
How many he had this year?
23. And he got 3 of them. He got 3 of them week 17 against the New York Giants to Blake Jarwin. Do the math. That's under 20. Do the math. That's under 20. Imagine if you didn't have Amari Cooper here. It wouldn't even be close to 20. But y'all want to pay him $30 million.
Listen to me.
That's crazy.
So you're telling me Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdowns to 1 tight end in 1 game?
In 1 game. That's why he got over 20 touchdowns.
So you dismissing the fact that he threw 3 to the same tight end in 1 game in tight spots because every pass he caught. So you dismissing that just to prove a point of him having over 20 touchdowns. You're kind of making my point here. Because those 3 touchdowns came to a player who wasn't Amari Cooper and not even a receiver. There was 3 touchdowns to the same
against a weak-ass Giants team, and Amari Cooper wasn't even playing because he was getting ready for the playoffs.
Oh, my God. That doesn't matter.
Real.
Hold on.
Wait.
2 weeks ago, when I talked about who Tank got his sacks again, you said you're only as good as the man in front of you. So don't try to use that now.
I said Amari Cooper was getting ready for the playoffs and barely even played.
And you said it was just a weak-ass Giants. You said it was against the weak-ass Giant. You discredited the Giants in order to eliminate the ability that Dak was able to do by throwing 3 touchdowns to one guy. So you only give us a guy in front of you like you told me a couple weeks ago. So it doesn't matter who was in front of Blake Jarwin. He caught 3 touchdowns thrown by Dak Prescott.
And that's what got him over 20,
game.
but y'all want to pay him over $30 million.
It doesn't matter.
If mind-blowing to me.
If Amari Cooper made him,
the guy hasn't even sniffed 30 touchdowns in 3 years, and y'all want to get him money.
I'm done. You're not going to let me talk. I'm done. Go ahead.
I mean, I got a few things to say. First of all, I feel like, I mean, DCFN, are we watching different games? Like, are we watching a different quarterback? Have we seen a different performance from Dak? Because I'm not trying to take away any credit from what Amari Cooper did for this team. But he did that because the Cowboys stupidly headed into the season thinking that Linehan's answer of, wide receiver by committee bullshit, that didn't work out. Dak didn't need Amari Cooper. I'm very glad to have Amari Cooper. He needed a number 1 wide receiver that could help open up our offense in a way that only a danger like that can. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but Dak first of all, you're forgetting his rushing touchdowns. Dak, you can't take, he had 22 touchdowns. What about his rushing touchdowns? He had the most on this team this year, more than Zeke. That's embarrassing for us for a different reason. But I mean, I'm just saying that we can't sit here and just forget that 2015 wasn't a year that happened when we had no quarterback and we went 2-15. That's whatever. Point is, we need a quarterback. We don't have anyone else out there. Dak is our guy, and I think it's crazy that you wouldn't want to pay him what he deserves. Or he's gone out what he earned from what he did. Right? Because he can throw a million passes. The receivers got to catch him too, right? But the point is that Dak is still out there doing what he has to do. I don't know.
I mean, look, in my opinion, it's a lot of reasons why the season went the way it was. You just can't say that Amari Cooper saved the season. Changing the offensive line coach helped save the season. Dak's ability to kind of have more input with Garrett helped save the season over Linehan. You keep saying, DCFN, that Linehan's not there anymore. Correct, but we haven't seen a full game yet with Kellen Moore. What's going to happen. I'm not saying he's going to be bad or good. I'm just saying that we don't know yet. How we know what we've seen with Linehan at the helm.
Hey, Kevin, real quick, I got to kick a shout out to one of my fans, Stelios 300 Cowboys. Hey, I appreciate the super chat, brother. Hey, this guy's been a fan of mine for a long time, man. Kick a shout out to him. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Go ahead,
much love to Stelios. Thank you. Yes. My thing is that Amari Cooper is a huge piece of this basically a first round pick for us, right? And so we're not letting him go. And again, we're arguing about 2 guys that are on the same team. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get them, but we're all arguing about it. But this is still the same players. They're both going to be signed. I just think that Dak, the intangibles and the things that he did with what we know. Forget about what's coming. Right? We know that Linehan was a bad coordinator. We all agree on that. And the whole Cowboy Nation agrees on that. And the way he did things, whether, right, Fiance said, receiver by committee, just the issues that he caused with, whether it be Dez, Bryce Butler, Beasley. I mean, he cost these guys the star with the Cowboys, whether it's their own fault or not. Linehan helped that. And so when you add it all up, and he went in the way, came back, why? Linehan, there's a lot of reasons for that too, but Linehan not being here had to help. So what I'm saying is Linehan had a big role in this, and I think you're seeing Dak at his worst, and he still did damn good. Yeah. And that's why I think we're all overlooking this as, a small, 4th round pick, whatever. But in the end, I don't care about that. This guy's slotted to make more than fucked up Wentz and Jared Goff. So we'll see what happens. But I think Dak is worth it. He has the intangibles. I think both these guys are worth it, and they work hand in hand
Get out of here
with each other. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
It's on the floor.
I think they're hand in hand with each other, and I just care that they signed them both at the exact same time.
Let me put it to you this way. Like I said, everybody has good points. I see where Football News is coming from. I don't agree with him, but that's my boy. I see where he's coming from. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. Okay, for example, I'm a barber. I cut hair on the side. You saying that we all know the season changed when we got Amari Cooper. It's a domino effect. It's a team thing. We've all agree on that too. If you're a quarterback, let me go this way. If my clippers aren't working properly, I can't fade or I can't taper properly or do a nice edge up for somebody properly. I can cut, but it won't look as good. You get what I'm saying? Dak didn't have a go-to guy. Every quarterback needs a go-to guy. And that's just the bottom line. Dak's still in the learning process. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I was hard on Dak some games, and y'all know how Dak is. I say this a million times. He'll throw an interception, or he'll stay in the pocket too long, and then he'll turn right around and throw a touchdown pass. We'll be cussing at him, and then we'll be cheering for him. 5 minutes later, or maybe less. Dak is well deserved of his money. Just his leadership alone, his playmaking ability, his ability to lead a team when it counts. When it counts. Obviously, with the addition to Cooper, I think they've made each other better. I don't think it's just saying, "Oh, Cooper made Dak better." No, you have to be, in cahoots with that person. You have to be here, like Martin on, TV show say, "Man, we're here." I'm pretty sure they practiced, throwing passes, running routes and all that stuff. It's all, somebody has to throw him that ball. Somebody had to be the one to throw those touchdown passes. And unfortunately, to a lot of Dak haters out there, unfortunately, it was him. Now that we're going into a new season, everybody's well rested. Hopefully, we get Fredericks back. We get a lot of good pieces. Cobb, we get a lot of good pieces around him. I know it's about Amari Cooper and Dak, but I think Dak is well deserved of his money. Like, seriously. I don't know about $30 million, but somewhere around that. But he's going to get paid. I believe he's going to get paid first. They got to keep their quarterback happy. Amari Cooper is going to get paid too. He came in a short amount of time that he made an impact. He made Dak better. Dak made him better. It goes both ways. Dak was able to. Yeah, we had a rocky first start of the year. There's no mystery behind that. I think they had a lot to do with other things too. A lot of players didn't play in the preseason. I believe football is a sport where your body has to get used to getting manhandled, getting beat, getting brutal. Hell, Mark Holmes even said it on his channel, months ago. Football is different. You can't just start, just like my damn lawnmower. I tried to get out there and start it. It was like, it's been sitting for 7 months. So my dumb ass tried to get out there and start it, and nothing happened. I'm like, God damn. So I bought a spark plug. I'm buying this. I'm getting the tools to try to make it work. It's a good lawnmower because I just bought it. It's not even a year old. But I'm buying the tools. I'm doing research, and y'all helping me, and people in the comment section are helping me, and I'm buying tools to make it work. That's what a football team is all about. It's really not an individual. I get what you're saying, but it's really not an individual thing. It's a team. You got pieces that make other things work on a car or on a lawnmower or whatever. Hell, you know what I'm saying? So that's just my view on it, man. But y'all need to do your thing.
Oh no, absolutely no. But like I'm saying here, Amari Cooper deserves his money before a guy that hasn't thrown 25 touchdowns yet in a National Football League season, that fumbled the ball 13 times standing in the pocket. I think if you're going to invest that kind of money into Dak Prescott, you got to know what you have. And I think after 3 years, we can call him a leader, this, that, and the other, the intangibles that he has, but there's just not enough there. I say let him play out his 4th-year contract, franchise tag him again, just Kirk Cousins. I mean, until you really know what you got out of Dak. But that's all I got, unless anybody has anything else to say.
I mean, yeah, just I just feel like it really goes, honestly, truthfully, it goes hand in hand. Like 1980 said, like I'm not gonna come on here and say that Amari Cooper made Dak Prescott, because I feel like Amari Cooper came in the league a year before Dak. You know, he was a first rounder. Dak Prescott was a fourth rounder. Really just projected to be a backup. Tony Romo healthy. Dak Prescott wouldn't have been on the team much longer. So for him to adjust and adapt and become the quarterback he became today, I feel like you know, and like I told y'all, I'm the guy that was on Dak heels forever. You know, and I just think it's unfair to you know, throw his stats around like that when you know, talking about he hasn't thrown 25 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Well, you could say he hasn't had a good season until Dak Prescott was his quarterback, because 2017 he only had you know like 600 some yards, and then with the Raiders, and then 2018 while he was with them he stopped at 280. Then he came with us and got 725. So the past 2 years he pretty much was in the stink hole with Derek Carr, and then he came over here with Dak Prescott, where he did the damn thing at. You know what I'm saying? Like he came over here and played like 8 games with us and got 6 touchdowns. He had a full season in 2017 with the Raiders. He only had 7 touchdowns. So like I said, go hand in hand. You know what Dak did for him. Dak elevated him. You know, and he elevated Dak. So I can't discredit Dak Prescott because of the caliber player who Amari Cooper is, because we've had wide open wide receivers drop the ball. You know, we've had guys that didn't know how to get open. So in that point, I will give Amari Cooper his credit, of course. But at the same time, you got to be able to get that ball down now. You got to be able to throw it down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it really can go hand in hand. And I agree. I don't want to say 30 million, but to say Amari Cooper made Prescott, that's no, I can't say that. That's all I got on it.
Amari Cooper made Dak Prescott.
We got a question in the chat, actually, here for you, DCFN. Mr. Scouting Pro wants to know how you felt when we paid Tony Romo $105 million in May of 2013 when he only started 23 games, and we just finished paying him like this last month now. Like our last payment is officially made now. We finally just finished paying Romo. She wants to know how you feel.
Absolutely.
Thanks 1980, by the way. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Miss Scouting Pro, for that question. I was not on YouTube making videos when that contract was done, but I can tell you there's a thing called Facebook Memories. I was a diehard Romo fan, but the amount of money of that contract to the ability of play Tony Romo get. Now, I did go on this roundtable to open up the show, and I did not. And I called Tony Romo. I said Tony Romo was not a winner. My Cowboys family, that was the question he asked me. I said, no, not with 2 playoff wins. Tony Romo was not a winner. But thank goodness for Facebook Memories. I did not like that extension they gave Tony Romo. Thank you for that question, Miss Scouting Pro.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, hey, that was a great question. Thank you, Ms. Cameron.
All right, guys. Let's shift here to the guy that needs to be talked about, and that's Ezekiel Elliott. And the question that I'm going to ask here, looking in, is: does the Dallas Cowboys really value the running back position? Because when Stephen Jones brought up on the DeMarcus Lawrence contract, he said Dak and he said Amari Cooper are next up for contract extensions. You still got Zeke. Zeke was not mentioned in that sentence. Do the Dallas Cowboys really value the running back position? And can we see Zeke leaving after his 5th-year option? 1980. The floor is yours.
Okay, Zeke leaving? Is that the question? I'm sorry.
No, the question is: do the Dallas Cowboys really value the running back position?
Oh, okay. I would hope so. It would be pretty jacked up if they didn't. I would hope so. I want to say yeah, but I would hope so, because Zeke we haven't seen a running back. I mean, we had DeMarco Murray. He was pretty good. He was a really good back. But Zeke is a different type of back, guys. And I know y'all know this, but I gotta say this. He reminds me so much of Emmett. He just does. I mean, I hate to compare because I love Emmett, the things he did. For God's sakes, he's the leading rusher of all time. There were great running backs that were very good, that were more quicker, faster, more powerful. Bo Jackson was one of them. I believe that Bo Jackson would. I'm going off the subject because I gotta y'all know me. I got to stay on. I gotta do that to stay on track. I'll forget. I'll be talking about something and I'll fuck around and forget it. That's just me. I forget what I'm talking about. But there were more powerful running backs. So Bo Jackson was one of them. I think Bo Jackson probably would have been the greatest running back of all time if he would have messed up his hip in that Kansas City game. Or was it the Cincinnati? One of those. But anyway, there are a lot of great running backs. Barry Sanders, man, Walter Payton. But Zeke, he reminds me so much of Emmett. Emmett would go down and he would twist his body around. He would always gain. The only way you catch Emmett in the backfield or Zeke is if you get lucky and he's double teamed. There's nowhere for him to go. Zeke always has a knack to put his body on the line for the extra yard. We will all visually see him like, oh shit, they got him in the backfield. And he would twist around and gain 2 yards. And I would wonder, like, towards the end of the game, we would be like, damn, Zeke, 90-something yards, how? Every time he gets the ball, he gains yardage. I thought Zeke should be the one paid first, like before D-Law. Like, seriously, because he puts his body on the line. Running backs, they age faster. They're only good for maybe 6. It depends on the player, the person, and how well they take care of themselves. Maybe 6 or 7 years. There are only a few backs that play, extended careers, but they go through the most turmoil out there on the field, and he always just has a knack. And they better not. There's been rumors. I know you guys been hearing these rumors about the Cowboys maybe, letting Zeke walk. I'm like, that would be stupid because everybody can run the ball. Hell, I can get back there and run the ball. I remember, I'm going to try to make this long story short. I remember when my sophomore year, we were going to the Texas Stadium to play in the playoffs. And coach didn't want to practice with our running back because he was one of the leading rushers in high school back in the day in the state of Texas. He was awesome, man. He was one of those guys. He had the speed, he had the height. He was a talented guy. And I said, Coach, hey, I line up, running back. But we weren't playing full contact tackle, but we were hitting, but we weren't tackling. We weren't wrapping up. And I said, Coach, I'll line up, be a dummy running back for just a little bit, a couple of series. He's like, all right, get on back there, man, whatever. And so I lined. You have to have a different vision. I thought it was just me running the ball and going through a hole. You have to have a different vision running that ball. You have to have a talent, an art. You have to have that shit down to a science. I was, luckily we had one of the best lines in high school back then. And I was able to kind of squeeze and hit some holes. But I got tagged along the way. And I was like, whoa, shit, And a lot of times, the way that line moves, the linemen just don't block. They motion block. They what do you call it? Shit, they gap block. You don't know after that block. You don't know what's coming. Somebody coming, boom, like, oh, shit, I got stood up a couple of times. But anyway, guys, I respect the running back position a whole lot better than now, after that. And Zeke has a talent, a smooth style to him that you don't see all the time. You don't get. And if the Cowboys don't pay this guy and hold on to this guy, I believe they do. I believe they do have respect. They better have respect for a running back because they do for their best interest, they better have respect for a running back because they do the most work. Like seriously, they especially Zeke. He's catching balls out of the backfield. He does it all. He's taking on blocks. 300-pound lineman coming at him. He's limping. We've all said this a million times, but that's just my view on a running back and Zeke and how important he is to this team, to the Dallas Cowboys. He's the best in our eyes. So he's the best running back in the league, arguably to the NFL and other fan bases, whatever. But he's the best running back in the league, like hands down. This guy has should have been 3 rushing titles. He would have had 3 if it wasn't for the suspension and all that stuff. But with a broken offensive line, with a broken, beat up, aging, battered offensive line, that's hard to do, man. So it's just like they need to have respect for a running back. Like seriously, I don't know if I got off the subject a little bit, but I just kind of had to paint that picture so y'all can understand how important the running back position is. That's my 2 cents on it, man.
Fifth quarter Cowboys. Do the Dallas Cowboys value the running back position?
I think they value the position. I don't think they value the person at the position. You just look at history. History will show you, man. Any signs of wear and tear, they pretty much get you out of there. Zeke have a down year this year. They're gonna be looking for somebody else. It's just the way they do. I think they value the position, but it's a business. So when you can't produce at the level you're supposed to, the more it's time to move on. But the Cowboys, they don't mind by moving on from a running back position. Boy, you can just have the Russian title the year prior. They don't give a shit. Cowboys get you out of there, man. So I think they value the position because that's the type of team we are. But I think that it's the way they valued it is changing and it's coming down because the type of quarterback we have and the 2 wide receivers we currently have. So and we saw last year they tried to get away from it and try to be a more passing team. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that because I think they kind of want to get away from value in that position because it kind of makes you a one-trick pony. We saw when Zeke was suspended what happened when you really don't take time out and be creative in the passing game. It handicaps you. And when Zeke was gone and we had Alfred Morris and we had Darren McFadden and we had Rod Smith, it was like, even though I like Darren McFadden, still like him to this day, man. Still, I love Run DMC. But it really shows, when the running back, it ain't there. You got running back by committee and you got wide receivers who ain't, T. Will and, aging Dez Bryant, who people say haven't been the same in 3 years or whatever. It shows that you're handicapped. You can't, with an old line like 1980 said who's aging, well, a couple of them injuries and all that shit. I think they're trying to be a more dynamic team. I think the Cowboys want to become a passing team. They're trying to make Dak Prescott one of those big names in the league. And we can tell they're trying to make Dak because we complained about that so much last year. So I think they're trying to get away from depending on the running game, which is not a bad thing. But, if the running game is still our number one priority, I have no problem with it. But I think they want to get away from depending on it because it kind of handicaps you in a sense. If you can't pass the ball when your running game is stopped, you're not going to win. And we seen that last year when, maybe Zeke was limping and tired and we had to put 45 in there or, something like that. So I think they value the position, not as much as they used to, but I definitely don't think they value the person there. Like, I think the much as Jerry Jones loves Ezekiel Elliott, I feel like if Zeke start having crap, he'll be gone. I just feel that way. I mean, you think about it. Look what happened with DeMarco Murray in 2014. Balled out. Dan McFadden had a 1,000-yard season the next year. What happened after Dan McFadden had a 1,000-yard season? We drafted a running back. After a 1,000-yard season, we drafted a running back right after it. So I think they value the position, just not the person there.
My Cowboys family. Do the Dallas Cowboys value the running back position?
Yeah. I mean, I think that for as much as we want to look at some of the things that have happened in the past, the last time we had a quarterback that even compares to Zeke was Emmitt Smith. Again, I'm not taking anything away from the other guys who came before him, but Zeke is special. Obviously not Emmitt Smith level special, but he is special. And I do think that more of the reason why we didn't hear Zeke included in some of those names or even mentioned at all is because Zeke was a first-round pick. He does have that fifth-year option. I think that the Cowboys are just going to, much like everything else, try to leave this contract until as late as possible. When it comes to Zeke, again, and I think that some of that has to do with some of the reasons, again, just like DJ pointed out, the Cowboys usually don't they like to use and abuse their backs. And I think that with Zeke also having kind of a bumpier year, they are going to watch him and kind of keep an eye on, I guess, his general health composition and stuff like that. But I do think the Cowboys' every intention is to keep Zeke. We are still at our core a run-based team, a run-first team. And even with the league changing directions, I think that we are changing. And I do think the Cowboys are changing somewhat, but we're kind of a slow team to change. You know what I mean? I don't see the Cowboys just completely turning their philosophy for the last however many years completely around. And I think that Zeke is such a huge part of what does make this team run. I mean, a lot of it just has to do with how we use Zeke, and I think that that's going to improve. So I'm really hopeful that the Cowboys will keep Zeke long term and they will sign him. I think that, again, it's just a contract thing. It just doesn't make sense for the Cowboys to go and sign him now. Why? They're not paying him much now. Why would they go out of their way to purposely pay him? Even though, DCF 1980, I'm sorry, you made some excellent points about the fact that Zeke is carrying this team on his body. He's taking all this on himself. He deserves to be paid. So I absolutely agree that he deserves to be paid. But again, why would the Cowboys want to do it now? I think that we will see Zeke get signed long-term along with Jalen at the same time. That's kind of just my thoughts. But I kind of add the asterisk too. Cowboys Abroad made a great point in the chat. He said, if we have a coach on his last year, we have this whole new team, we have a bunch of free agents. If they bring in a new coach or someone who brings the team in a new direction next year, maybe they don't value Zeke to that level. So that's the only way I see him not staying here long term. If someone new comes in and says Zeke shouldn't be here for some reason. So I don't see Zeke going anywhere. What about you, babe?
When it comes to Zeke, I mean, listen, as I said, Zeke is a different kind of player, an elite running back. Probably to me, I still think he's been the best running back in the NFL since he's been in the league. So now that's me valuing, right? Ezekiel Elliott. Did the Cowboys value Ezekiel Elliott as a person? They have to. I mean, he was picked so early in the first round, top 5 pick. Obviously, guys, they're not going to just let him just walk away. This guy brings something new to the table, not something that DeMarco Murray kind of did, not something that, Run DMC kind of did in his old age. Yeah, he got 1,000 yards, and I agree. He started like only 12 games that year. But, to me, it was more about the offensive line, and I think it still is. I still think we still want to try to impose our will on teams running the ball. And I think Zeke defines the offensive line as well as the offensive line defining Zeke. I think they go hand in hand. I think this tandem work together. And I think we're, a lot of it to me, as far as what the Cowboys, if it's me, you sign Zeke and you use them wisely. You use them better than you have in this past year. But a lot of it's going to come down to what we didn't talk about. We're going to wait till, I guess, next week, the draft. I think the draft is where the Cowboys, you're going to see what they're going to kind of show their hand a little bit in this draft. If we go with a running back in the 4th round, I believe that we're going to keep Zeke because they're going to try to run this 4th round. We still got it's a deep class of running backs this year. There's going to be guys out there in the 5th round that we can still grab that probably can still be a viable, good backup for Ezekiel Elliott and more in the future. So whether or not this guy ends up turning out the guy that maybe replaces Zeke, that could happen one day. I mean, I'm not saying it can't. But I think the Cowboys are taking a 4th round running back or 5th round running back with the intention of using him as a guy who can make Zeke last longer in this league. And again, like 1980 said, the length of time running backs last 6-7 years. Then you might see the Cowboys try to pull the franchise tag, like DCFN said. You might see something like that happen. Because then why would you want to? You could get him for 6 years and then you let him go. What? So you lose him for one of his most, 1 year out of his 7 best years. You know what I mean? So, but Emmett did it for longer than that. A lot of running backs did it longer than that before this. I know the game has changed. I know the game has changed. I know that the different most teams run 2 running backs or 3 running backs. But we got a workhorse, and that's Ezekiel Elliott. And I like working him. I like running him. But we do need to definitely, kind of lay off on his touches so much. We get him 40 touches sometimes in some games in the air and ground. So even though I love to see Zeke running, we got to definitely get a running back to spell him some if we want to sign him long term.
Absolutely. Now, the running back position with a running back like Ezekiel Elliott, it's huge. Now, Ezekiel Elliott can have a career like an Adrian Peterson that can play well in their 30s. Running back NFL careers don't last long. I mean, you don't see 40-year-old running backs like you do tight ends and quarterbacks. Held to the Hall of Famer. Now, after Emmitt Smith left, they brought in a guy, the Dallas Cowboys. They promoted Troy Hambrick to that starting position after Emmitt Smith. He got 972 yards, 5 touchdowns. The Dallas Cowboys waived him at the end of that season. A couple years later, they bring in a guy like Julius Jones. Didn't play but 3 years for the Dallas Cowboys. He had 1,000 yards in 2006 with 4 touchdowns. And they cut him out after the 2007 season with 588 yards. Then you look at Marion Barber III. Drafted him in the 4th round, 2005. His best career was in 2007, 975 yards. And the Cowboys let him go soon after that. Then they bring a guy in with Felix Jones, right? Everybody knows that disaster. He didn't last long with the Dallas Cowboys. Then we look at a guy like DeMarco Murray, who was the NFL leading rusher. And the Dallas Cowboys did not want to invest in DeMarco Murray. And they went out and they got Darren McFadden, Alfred Morris. Matter of fact, they wanted to do it with Joseph Randall, which we know how that played out. Mr. Meat on the Bones. And then now he's in prison. And so, like Fifth Quarter Cowboys said, yeah, McFadden was damn near old, and he still got that 1,000 yards. Obviously, you need that running back was a need there at that position because you had a 30-year-old running back and you had Alfred Morris. So obviously, drafting Zeke was something huge. Now, Fifth Quarter brought up a big point. They might value that position, which I don't think they do, but they don't value the player. Now, running backs, like I just said, only have a certain amount of times in the National Football League. And how much tread have we already used with the amount of touches and receptions? Ezekiel Elliott led this team in receptions last year. That's a lot of hits. That's a lot of used tread that Zeke already used in just 3 years playing for these Dallas Cowboys. I hope they sign him. I hope they value Zeke that much better because I can see Zeke playing like as long as Adrian Peterson. But that's up to the Cowboys, which I don't think they value that running back position. Any comments on that?
We agree. I agree 100% with they value the Cowboys as a franchise value the position over the player at that spot. I agree 100%. But Zeke, that's why I keep saying because where he was picked and the investment Cowboys kind of looked into and made, it wasn't just a first round pick; it was a top first round pick. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe, and he hasn't disappointed. So I believe, he's worthy of a little more consideration than the other names you named after Emmitt Smith. So,
well, my only rebuttal is I'll make it short. I still say what I say. I don't think they value the person, and to rebuttal, well, not rebuttal you, MCL, but to kind of get my take on, you feel like they value Zeke because of what they picked him. I don't. I feel like if we had the first round, we'd have still got him because think about it. We had Romo, who was balling out of his lights. We had Dez Bryant, T. Will, who was balling. Best offensive line in the league, who was balling. We already had cornerbacks and safeties under contract. We had no other position but to go get a running back. You know what I'm saying? We came out with 4-12. We had a high pick. When you look at the people who went before Zeke, we didn't need nobody else. We weren't gonna get the what was his name with Jacksonville? Ramsey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had no other position to get right there but a running back. So I feel like it wasn't. I don't feel like where we got Zeke is the reason that they may value him more. I'm not saying they don't value Zeke, but I'm just saying, hell, we had to get a running back because the Run DMC was 30. You know, we came out 4-12, and I feel like it was another move. I feel like it was kind of like the Amari Cooper move that they made. 4-12, an embarrassment. What other way to build your stock back up as a Dallas Cowboys besides get the hottest running back that went 200 yards on Alabama in the championship game? So I think it was just Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones and making himself the highlight of the draft. But I still don't feel like that they, even with all Zeke has done, I still don't feel like they value the player as much as they should. Because like Football News said, we wore him down last year. The tread on Zeke is getting low already because of our offensive coordinator. We sucked that receiver for so long, and we put so much faith in Zeke. He carried this team last year. The tread is getting low. Zeke is not getting smaller, not weight-wise, but I'm just saying, like, I just still don't think they value the player as much as the position. Like I say, and it seems like that they're really trying to become equally dominant at running and passing. So that's all I got for it.
And I just want to, I love 1980s. I just want to say real quick. I agree. You made some great points, DJ, and I just want to say that when I agree with you. If they had taken him first, we would have taken him first overall. You know, but because it was like basically best player available at the weakest position, you know, which was running back at that time. It still means it's still a high value pick. And again, think about it: first round pick that's performed, a first top pick in the draft that's performed the way, you know, as a top pick would. You just can't let him just walk like that. You know, so that's what I'm trying to say. They got to work with Zeke. Somehow we got to get him on this team and get someone to kind of help him. And if they don't value that, the Cowboys decide to go another route. They better get somebody who a 4th round pick in the draft is not Zeke. That's all I got to say. Go ahead, 1980. I'm sorry.
Oh, you good, man. Guys, I love it, man. Everybody has points. I think I don't want to make it out to the Cowboys being the big bad wolf, and they don't care about Zeke. I think they care about. I hope they care about Zeke. I hope they care about him personally as well, because he's running for them. He's running for the state of Texas, the city of Dallas, and he has a big fan base. He's a part of America's team. He's a part of the richest team in sports. He's a running back for the richest team in sports. I think what they're doing, like we've been saying, we've all said that Zeke's been walking up the field looking. He's done this. He's blocking. He's catching passes. He's catching passes downfield, catching passes out of the backfield, catching passes out of his ass. He's doing that. He's doing it all. That's probably why they bring in a lot of these guys. Bringing in Cobb, you know what I'm saying? We got Amari Cooper. We got Gallup, who's developing. Amari Cooper has made Gallup better. You know, we got 3 tight ends that are starting material. We got Jason Witten coming back, which is the 3rd tight end or whatever. I think they're trying to mold this team so where Zeke's career with us will last longer. You get what I'm saying? That's what I think. I don't know. I may be wrong, but that's what it seems like they're doing, because I'm pretty sure they watch film just like we do. I can't see them wanting to run him in the ground, wanting to, we got to get rid of this guy. I hope they're not that evil, you know, but like DJ said, it is the business, and, you know, that's how it is with the running back position. But let's just hope and pray that they're making this just like they said last year with a Dak-friendly offense. Hopefully making it a Zeke-friendly offense to make these running backs' careers last a little longer by bringing in extra pieces. I think even though we're a run-first offense, they're trying to mix a little bit of that passing. And they saw the attack that we did with Amari Cooper coming in and Gallup and Schultz running down the field. Jarwin. I think they got a little piece of that, and they like that. So NFL is turning into a passing league. the guys are just going downfield. Remember the Rams game? Rams and I think it was the Rams and the Vikings last season. It was a shootout. It was going downfield. Boom, boom. Looked like Tecmo Bowl. Just going downfield. Just boom, boom, boom. I think we still want to be that running team, but I think they want to kind of, now with Cobb coming in and Tavon Austin, and they want to get deep just like everybody else too. So I think that'll help him last a little longer than expected.
All right. No, nice points, 1980. Nice points, everybody. Our last topic, guys, and I promised Miss Fiance, my Cowboys family, that we would talk about this next week. Next week is here, and the topic is, what is Jason Garrett's ceiling to keep his job as a Dallas Cowboy football head coach? My Cowboys family, Miss Fiance, this was your question. It is this week. I want you to take it first.
Baby, you are up.
All right. I mean, again, there's only one thing. Okay, there's two things that Jason Garrett can bring back home to Daddy Jones, and he'll say, good job, son. And that is an NFC championship or a Super Bowl. You bring me number 6 or you bring me the NFC, or you get the fuck out, Jason Garrett. That's it. We are seeing something different here. Jerry Jones can say, oh, guys play better with pressure on them. Hell yeah, because they think they're going to lose their job. Like, you can sit there and bullshit us all you want, but it's a reality. Jason Garrett knows he's out if he doesn't make something happen. Now, will the Cowboys magically rally around their coach like the Cowboys have told us they do? Like we keep hearing that the locker room is all behind them. Will this team somehow rally itself more and push itself harder and get itself to the NFC championship game or get itself to the Super Bowl? Then I suppose we all have to learn to get comfortable with Jason Garrett, because at that point he will have done enough to succeed. Now, the only kind of asterisk I'll add here is maybe even if he wins the NFC, I think that if Stephen Jones, specifically Stephen Jones, is done with Garrett, then really only a Super Bowl ring will save him. I don't see anything else, not a playoff appearance, nothing. There's nothing Dak can say, nothing that Zeke can say, nothing that Garrett can clap his way out of. That's it. This is do or die for him. And it shows in the actions that the Cowboys are taking. So yeah, what do you think, baby?
I will just leave it at, I agree with everything you said. Yeah, what you said. That's the way it's got to be.
Fifth quarter Cowboys. What is Jason Garrett's ceiling to keep his job as a Dallas Cowboy football head coach?
Super Bowl, man. We've seen the fancy show of 13-3 and 12-4 and whatever else good record we didn't have. We've seen the playoff. We've seen the finish the fight for your brother, fight for your team. We've seen that show 1,000 times, man. Nothing else saves Jason Garrett's job but a Super Bowl, playoff appearance, and nothing. I don't give a damn. We get to the damn round before the playoff and lose. Nothing can save Jason Garrett's job but a Super Bowl. Hell, I think if we get a Super Bowl, he still might be gone. I don't know. I just think they done with Garrett, man. I even if he get a Super Bowl, I still think he probably gonna get a 1-year deal. But Super Bowl, that's it, man.
Dallas Cowboy fan, power man. What's Jason Garrett's ceiling to keep his job?
I agree with you guys once again. I want to say that I'm going to go out on a limb here. I agree with you guys, but I think Garrett wants out. I'm going to go off the deep end, and I'm going to say that something a little different. Add a little twist to it. I think Garrett wants out. I think Garrett doesn't want to, like DJ said, we've seen the 12-4 and 13-3 and all that stuff, and all the Rudy Poo seasons and, all that. I think Garrett was like, Jerry, you know what? I think this is it for me. That's what I think. I may be wrong, but maybe the Cowboys. There could be two things in my opinion. I think Garrett wants out, regardless if they win the Super Bowl or not. If they win a Super Bowl, that'd be good for him. He can go out and ride into the sunset with a Super Bowl. Best way to retire then. Or the Cowboys might have pulled him to the side and said, hey, man, we're going in a different direction. You've took us here. You've done a good job. And you know what? We just got to, we got to do something else. And maybe they're using that as a psychology, like Jimmy Johnson back in the day, the king of psychology major. Maybe they're doing that to light a little fire up under him and, get him cussing a little bit more. Or, maybe Gary's like, hey, man, I'm done. I can't, and we'll never know. Like what I'm saying right now that's coming out of my mouth is it's just opinion. That's just what I feel. That's what I think. I can kind of see that in his eyes. I think I can see like he's, I'm done with this. I'm tired. He's not that old, but I think he knows he can only get to a certain level without that talent he had in 2014, 2016. That Romo team that we had that had the best offensive line, one of the best running backs. We had Dez in his prime, Williams, and we had all the pieces. Jason Witten was still kind of in his prime, and that 14, 16 seasons were our best time, two of our best years. And I think if he feels like if he couldn't do it then, I'm gonna try it again this year. We got a lot of talent coming in. Everybody's more experienced. We got Chris Richard in here. Maybe Chris Richard may move up. Maybe they've been talking. We don't know everything. You get what I'm saying? Maybe he already can foresee his future as not being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So, with that being said, that's just my opinion on it, guys. And like I say, I might be wrong. I might be way off, but I just thought I'd throw a different flavor, put a different flavor in the Kool-Aid and see how it tastes.
That Kool-Aid tastes pretty damn good, 1980. Pretty damn good. It has to be the Super Bowl. If Garrett wants to sniff an extension, to sniff cash, as Jerry Jones calls it, it has to be a Super Bowl, guys. Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Where can they find you?
YouTube, Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Appreciate y'all for watching.
My Cowboys family, let 1980s channel know where they can find you.
You guys can find us right here on MCF. We're live every day, guys. News, info, updates on the Cowboys. But never forget the number one thing.
Number one. Go Cowboys! Woo! Let's go.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us here on the Roundtable. I'm Dallas Cowboy Football News. You can find me, Dallas Cowboy Football News, on Facebook, Dallas Cowboy Football News on YouTube, DCF News 1 on Twitter. And if you're man enough to talk X's and O's, slide in my DMs like a hoe. 1980. Close out your channel, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Mr. Radio Boys, Dallas Cowboy Football News, man. If y'all haven't subscribed to him, man, y'all don't know what y'all missing. I love doing these things on Saturday night. I look forward to them, these roundtable discussions with my boys, man, and Miss Fiance and Cowboys family. Fifth Quarter Cowboys with his, I'm going to tell you like it is. I don't care what you think. It's right in your face. Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Subscribe. Don't do it now. Dallas Cowboy Football News, Daily News, Radio Boys, need to be working for ESPN. My Cowboys family, all day long, every day, live streams, back to back. They put too much hard work and dedication for y'all not to show them some kind of love, man. Go ahead and do it. Leave a super chat for them. Do something, show them appreciation, show them love. There's nothing better than this, doing this, guys. It's football talk, Dallas Cowboy football talk. Being a part of America's team, we got 5 Super Bowls, guys. 5. A lot of people will say, oh, those are old dusty rings. It's been years, but it's a part of history. Just like, iconic people, like Michael Jordan has 6 rings. Magic Johnson has 5. Kobe has 5. Joe Montana has, 4 or 5 or something like that. They all exist. It's an existence. We're in existence. We were all born in different years, but it was the past. We were born, and we exist now supporting the Dallas Cowboys. So people that say, oh, that was a long time ago. Yeah, you're right. It was a long time ago. Just like when the United States was discovered. It was discovered a long time ago. I can't just throw it out the window because it was a long time ago. It exists. And I'm glad we have a past to talk about. We can all go back and say, hey, man, remember that game? Remember our first Super Bowl in 19? Some of us can say 1970. Remember Roger Staubach Remember the Hail Mary? Remember when Tom Landry designed the shotgun formation? Remember that? We're supposed to forget about that. You know, oh, that was a long time ago. Let's just forget about it. You know, that ain't nothing. Oh, you know, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to see those 5 rings. You get what I'm saying? Those 5 trophies. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of Cowboy Nation. I've been doing this off and on since 2012, some longer. You know, there are a lot of YouTube channel Dallas Cowboy YouTubers out there, but with different passion. You get what I'm saying? Different love, same passion, but it's different at the same time. You have to show everybody respect. Like I say every week, every time on my videos, none of this we talk about is in the Bible. It's all love and respect for the game. The game first, then the Cowboy. We're Cowboy fans. We're not out here trying to fight with anybody. We're not out here doing drive-by shootings because we don't agree or we disagree about something. Oh, I'm going to beat your ass because you don't agree with me. You know, none of us play for the Cowboys. We support our team. We share our thoughts and love for the game. And that's all it is to it, man. So, in closing, guys, I run my mouth too long. I get ahead of myself. In closing, guys, y'all make sure you stay cowboyed up and prayed up because you never know what the day is going to bring you. Holla back at your boy. I'm out.